28, we've got 2 zeros, so it's going to be 65,200. 29, 34,200. 30 is 80,000. 31, 800,000. 32, 860,000. 33, 867,000. 867000. Number 34, 492,000. Number 35 is 340. Number 36 is 6,290. Number 37 is 90. Sorry, let me try that again. Number 7 is 9,400. Number 38 is 23,800. It's 2 zeros. It's 3 zeros in the next one, so it's going to be 47,000. That's 39 is 47,000. Number 40 is 294,000. Number 41, 2 zeros, so it's 17,400. Number 42, 285,000. Number 43, 95,100. And then last but not least, we have 129,000 for number 44. Miss Fry, how did you do on that?
How many of those are there every week?
Oh, the sprint, there's always 44. I want Miss Fry to do hers next week. We'll see how she did. In terms of
I don't know what you're implying by that. I can do maths.
Like the S. So what patterns did you notice when completing the sprint? That's all on you. For me, I noticed that like there was a pattern down here about thousands. When I'm multiplying by 1,000, I'm just going to have that number and then 1,000 after it. I just count the zeros and then put the number. I can disregard the 1 because 1 times anything is itself, and then I just add the zeros. Miss Nicole, Miss Noel, Miss Fry, anything you would have used as a pattern there that I didn't say? No.
Well, I don't have it in front of me.
I know. I'm just trying to include you.
I know you were.
This one here with these weird boxes, this problem, I have no idea, really. To me, this was very, very complicated for no particular reason. So if you look at this, I've got 100 in each of these. So if that would equal to 2 wholes. These are the tenths. There's 10 of the smaller boxes. So each of those small boxes must be 100th because there's 100 of them make up 1 whole. So is Rachel correct? Yes. That's a lot of work for a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
And we're on to Manny. Manny says, I drew the same picture, but in my picture, a little square represents 1. So this picture represents 243. Is Manny correct? Yes. Name some numbers that this picture could represent. This right here, they said for each of these numbers, what does the little square represent? What does the rectangle represent? What does the big square represent? Explain. A place value organizer is provided if you want to use it. You could have gone on infinitely with this, as long as you kept the numbers in the same order. As long as you kept the numbers in the same order, it didn't really, all they're saying is that I should have ended it with the place values in the same order. So this could be 2.43. It could also be 0 wholes, 2 tenths, 4 hundredths, 3 thousandths. It could be 2,430. Then each of these smaller ones would be representing a 10 because they'd have 3 tens, which is at 400s, 2,000s. You could go on forever. The main point is that the smaller, in terms of what they're saying about what does each rectangle represent, and what does the big square represent? The big square is always 100 times more than whatever is in the place where the 3 is. So that's kind of a complicated one for it to go over. And then you could draw a picture to represent 0.047. I just had each little square representing one. I had 7 of the little squares, and then I had 4 of the tens. So these were my thousandths, and these were my hundredths. And then I just had an explanation which explained that each little cube was worth 1,000th, and then each rectangle, which was made of 10 of my little cubes, little squares, each 10 was worth 100th. All right, we're on to the exit ticket. Historians, blah, 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 blah. You all good? Thumb up if you're on this page. Thumb up, thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. All right, most people are on that page now. I get it. All right.
You're just like Mo Willems. With the little pause button
Now,
up.
I don't have his good hair. He's got some amazing hair.
He has amazing.
Well, I've got to say, I'm watching that every day. The hair is amazing. All right. Historians estimate there are about 7 million people on the earth in 4000 BCE, before Common Era. Don't say before Christ. Also, adults always say this, that they think that AD means after death. It does not. It means Anno Domini. It means at the year of our Lord. Because if it's after his death, then you'd have 32 years. Whole thing. The answer was 1,000. That's the main point. The answer was 1,000. Can somebody explain to us real quick, why was the answer 1,000? How did they get to that answer 1,000? Nikita, unmute you. Nikita, what did you think?
It was 1,000 because, like, if there was 7 million people, and then there was 7 billion people, and then there was like 3 more zeros after that, that would be like 1,000.
Yeah, like that's the way I did it. Is I look at it and I say, look, if I write 7 billion out like they have done for you here, then you can see that there's 9 zeros, and 7 million would have 6 zeros. So I just see there's 3 more, and then that must be 1,000 times greater. Awesome. So we're on to week 1, day 3, and we've got these things.
How long is this packet?
It's long. It's a lot to go over. It didn't actually take that long to do. It's just a lot to go over. All right.
I'm
So
with you.
this right here is hard for you guys to see how you've drawn it out. But what you should end up with, the factors of 18 are 3, 6, 1, 8, 9, and 2.
You do that again?
For Taya and some other people. So it's 3, 6, 1, 9, 2, 1, and 18. The first time I didn't say 18. So I'm going to repeat. So 3 times 6 equals 18. 1 times 18 equals 18. 9 times 2 equals 18. All right. B, the factors of 24. You should have had 4 boxes drawn. You've got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 6 and 4, 8 and 3. And for C, you should have 3 boxes. The factors of 28 are 1 and 28. 2 times 14 is 28. And then 4 times 7 is 28. So I'll repeat that again. 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, 28. Woo.
That was it? That's actually not that long.
No. We're halfway.
Oh! Carry on.
Marta is an idiot. No offense. I shouldn't say that, but she isn't so smart. Why is she not so smart? Somebody tell us, why is she wrong? And it even tells us that she's incorrect. So please don't. One of the things that drives me crazy is when I see people's work and it says, Marta was correct, because no, it's told us she's wrong. So like,
Zoe, you want Zoe to answer?
Yeah, great. Zoe, why is she wrong?
She's wrong because she put the 0 at the end, but the 0, it holds no value.
Great. Totally agree. So what should have been the answer, Zoe?
Oh.
It should have been 841.5.
Good job. If you have another way of getting there, that's fine. If you'd watched my video
from the Hunker Bunker
with my guitar, you would have heard why that is correct. All right. We're getting close, Miss Fry.
Mine's probably going to take so long, so.
0.4 times 10 equals 4. So we're going to draw a picture to illustrate your explanations. For me, what I did, can we see this now, Miss Fry? Is I just drew a chart and then showed how they had moved.
A little closer.
That was for the first one. My chart looked like this.
Yeah.
It was in the 10th, and now it moved one place over into the ones. And that's what I did. Same type of thing, but this time I just included those little marks to show. And then your written explanation is up to you. I can't really, that's the part of this that's difficult in terms of our grading. Oh, all right, week 1, day 4, getting close, promise. Do you want to make this a little bit more exciting?
Sure.
All right, we'll make this a little bit more exciting. Wait one second, I understand my video.
I've got my cloth. We could play What's Under the Cloth again. No.
I mean, I'm always up for What's Under the Cloth.
Napkin, really.
Okay, you ready? All right.
All right. Are you in the process of making this more exciting?
Yep.
Okay.
You see that? We're in the bunker.
Oh.
This is my son's drum kit.
Okay.
You ready? Okay, let's make it a bit more interesting. Okay, so we're on day 1. Week 1, day 4. What we got? It's 26. So we're on 27 times 6. All right, here we go. It's 162. Is that very confusing? $145. This isn't going to work. I tried. I really tried.
I loved it. I had a great time.
Oh, Cam's it. Cam can drum. Cam will do the drumming and I'll do the speaking. There we go. Let's go. Cam, yeah. All right, good. He heard me from across the way.
Hey, don't you guys miss us so much?
We just have microphones lying around my house all the time. Okay, so which question am I on? So 29 times 5 was 145. All right. Hold it, Cam. Okay. 57 times 6, Cam. 342. All right, next one. 53 times 8. It's 424. All right. What we got? 108 times 6. 648. All right, last one. 200, no, 2 more. 217 times 4. 868. He's really getting into his role now. Good job, Cam. All right, last one, Cam. This is the last one because they need to move faster. 433 times 8 times 6. 2,598. All right.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
Sam.
Thank you. Job, Cam. Round of applause for Cameron. All right. Okay. A, B, and C. I'm just going to hold it up to the camera. Mr. Fry is going to tell me, can you see A right there?
No,
Yes, I can.
it's a little dark.
Thanks, Cam. Okay. Well, let me just say, if you can't see it, 2 times 24 must be bigger than 2 times 16, because 24 is bigger than 16. 400 divided by 10 must be greater because 10 is smaller than 80, so it must be greater than the other option. And 77 minus 20 must be bigger because 77 is bigger than 67. Okay, we're on to the daily task. And I'm just going to give you which is greater and lesser, and I'll show you my first one. This is how I explained it. I did a place value chart. You can do whatever you have done, and we're not going to go over the explanations, but I kind of just repeated that each time. So which is greater? 0.01 is 100th, so that is greater. On B, 0.03 is 300ths, that is greater than 7 thousandths. On C, we have 0.052, which is 52 thousandths, that is bigger than 0.025. On D, we have 0.13, which is 13 hundredths, that must be bigger than 0.031, because I have 1 in my tenths place. On to E, and 0.21 is 21 hundredths. Even though it has fewer digits, it is greater than 203 thousandths because of the 1 in the hundredths place. A, we're on to the exit ticket. A, 9 and 52 tenths. 9 and 52 tenths is not the same. Is not the same because 52 tenths would be 5.2, so it ends up being 14.2. The next one is the same. It's 9.52. And I've skipped a page. Last 2 pages, Miss Fry. C, 9 ones plus 5 tenths plus 2 hundredths is the same. I feel like I'm a bingo caller here with this mic. All right. And D, 9 times 1 will give me 9 ones, 5 times 10th will give me 5 tenths. So this is going to be the same. D is the same. E, 952 tenths. Well, if you think, that means that I've got to put the decimal place between 95, it would be 95.2. So it's not the same. And the last one is the same because if I looked at that, 900 hundredths is 9, 50 hundredths is 5 tenths, and then 2. So that would be the same. All right. Last day, Miss Fry. Even though there was only 4 days this week, they gave us a day 5, Miss Fry. So.
Wow, bonus.
3A. I'm not be able to see this. I drew a connection between 54 and 6 because 54 divided by 6, and then I drew to 9 because it goes to 9. 54 divided by 6 equals 9. 9 times 3 is 27. B, 42, and then I drew a diagonal line, which you might be able to see, going to 6. 42 divided by 6 equals 7. 7, and then that line went straight across to 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Each of these tick marks on your line should have been worth, if we 100th. So going from 0.01 all the way up to 0.1 or 1/10. So n rounded to the nearest hundredth is 0 and 4 hundredths. It's closest to the 400ths line, 0.04. And rounded to the nearest 1, it is 0 because it's 0.04. It's not very close to 1 at all. Hi, Andrea's dad. It's good to see you. All right, we got.
Mr. House, by the way, we have a couple questions, but I just want to let you know.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back. I'm just trying to get through.
I know. We'll get to them in a second. I just wanted them to know.
Okay, great. So then we get to the exit.
William,
Get the exit ticket right here,
thank you.
and we have that number 32.697 rounded to the nearest tenth is 32.7. The 9 is almost right at 32.7. To the nearest hundredth, I'm going to end up with 32.70. You need to put that 0 in there because even though we would get rid of that number if it was an unrounded number, if it's asking us to round to the nearest hundredth, it's important to include it to show that you've rounded. So it's 32.70. And to the nearest 1, that is 33. In the next problem, you'll notice that it has 999,000. That means that we're going to go up on all of these values pretty much, because on my hundredths, it's going to become 142.00, because the 9 is going to go up and that has a knock-on effect. To the nearest tenth, it is 142.0. To the nearest 10, it is 140. And to the nearest 100 is 100. It's closer to 100 than it is to 200. Oh my gosh. Last question, Miss Fry. It's everybody's favorite. What you had to do, there was 2 steps. There's a root beer factory, which is producing a lot of root beer every day for the masses, even though I don't think anybody drinks root beer really anymore in this kind of bulk order because it's disgusting. The first thing you need to do is you need to work out, it's 100 days. Firstly, this business is not doing great. I mean, if they're selling a case, I need to get out of the macroeconomics here. The point is, you need to divide by 100 first. That was the first step. So you did 132,554 divided by 100, which would get you into the thousands. The reason why I know it's going to get me into the thousands is because I've moved the decimal place twice. If I had 100,000 and I was dividing by 100, I would have 1,000. So my answer therefore makes sense as being 1,325.54. It wanted me to round to the nearest tenth of a case. Why? Considering you cannot have a tenth of a case. Cases, anyway, I do not know. However, because I had 4 in the hundredths, I would stay at the same tenth, which was 5. So it's 1,325.5. Miss Fry.
That's impressive.
I can get you your own microphone.
I have one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Good.
And I have a piano right there.
Oh, you're going to try and outdo the drumming now. Good.
First of all, questions.
So we have a lot of questions. Three.
Tate, did you have another question?
No.
Okay, dear. Audrey.
So, can you go over the answers to the first question of week 1, day 4?
The first question, week 1, day 4.
Like the 4 top ones.
You mean of the warm-up of this thing?
Yeah.
Of the
Like,
warm-up?
can you go over all of them?
Okay, great. On the warm-up, which was maybe the drumming was a bad idea, it was 162, 145, 342. I was trying to make it more exciting. 424, 648, the next, was 648, right? Yeah, okay. So 217 times 4 is 868. And last was 2,598.
Okay.
You raised
thank
hand. No problem. Two more raised hands, Miss Fry. Who have we got?
Brennan.
Yeah.
What's your question, Brennan?
So I didn't get to do my ELA packet because it wasn't printed,
Okay. Can we
and
just?
I only got the math packet, which I did. And
Great.
it's really hard to do it online.
No problem. We'll come into it in a second. Okay.
Yeah, ELA we'll get to in a second. Did you have a math question?
Okay. Caitlin, I think is the last one.
Caitlin.
Do we need to unmute her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are there two E's on page 21? Shouldn't there be an F? They're two different
Probably,
ants.
Caitlin.
I think it's just a misprint. We're not going to worry about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Fry, I'm super excited to learn all of my ELA stuff, which I
Thank
did.
you. First of all, everybody do 20 jumping jacks. Get up out of your chair, move around in some fashion. Go, everybody. I'm also going to unmute you all. Make noise.
I'm done.
Love my doggo.
Cheetah, stop swinging from the ceiling.
So now, everybody, I'm going to unmute you, and I want you to tell Mr. House something positive about how he ran his math. Something you love about Mr. House. Go.
No.
You're the best math teacher ever because you're super funny and you know the Beatles. You're sarcastic.
All right, Miss Fry.
Teacher ever.
Way to go. Good job. Mr. House, thank you. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, you guys back on, teachers?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. House, thank you.
Miss Fry,
Yeah,
thank you. I'm excited. Oh, I left my packet downstairs. You carry on.
Oh, okay. All right, first of all, as you guys know, your focus was the essay. So the essay has a lot of individual questions. So if you have anything about your essay that's due on Sunday, you can email me, okay? The argumentative essay PDF was posted on Teams. You guys should have that. It was sent home with you on Friday, March 13th as well, okay? So questions about your essay, just let me know via email. Does everybody have our email addresses? You should. Yeah, okay. One of the reasons why the ELA packet is a little bit more difficult to use is that there are no right or wrong answers. The first page of the ELA packet, which you did not have to do, but it's the same next week and the week after. The first page is that you get to write down what you already know and questions you want to have answered. I can't tell you that those are right or wrong, right? We can discuss those, but there's no right or wrong to that. Annotation. I can't tell you that that the word you circled that you thought was confusing shouldn't be confusing to you. This is all sort of personal, right? Then it goes to the reading. You guys with me so far? Yeah? There's 2 articles this week. There were 2 articles, Sunrise, Sunset or Not, and Morning Sunshine, okay? In the packet, it then asks you to go back and use evidence from the text to answer the questions that you had about the text. So Nikita's questions might be different than TJ's, and it might be different from Usman's, and on and on and on and on. So it's a little bit harder to go through this packet. Then the following is that there are 3 different projects that you might want to do. Make a how-to guide on steps people can take to be successful with daylight saving. Use materials found at home to create a diagram. Write a report about the sun's influence. These are great. If you have nothing to do, I encourage you to do them. But it's hard for me to correct these. If you choose the diagram, it's going to be hard for me to look at that. So I want to say to you that it's not that I'm scrapping this completely. Okay, I'm going to work on it over the weekend and see how I can salvage some of this so that it's better for us. But I do want to look at other things. And 2 things that I want to look at. Are you guys with me so far? Yeah. 2 things that I want to make sure that you have access to are from Canvas, are Newsela and something called Common Lit, which is also on Canvas. So, Mr. House, hold on. Mr. House.
I was just.
Mr. House.
Why was asking something?
While they're on Zoom, can they also go on Canvas and go do something if I ask them to do something?
It depends on what device they're using, but I mean,
Okay.
on my computer I can do that. If I open Google Chrome, I can do that.
Okay. Well,
do you want me to share screen so they can see what it would look like?
what I need everybody to find out is if when you go to Canvas, do you have access to Newsela and Common Lit? I think everybody should have access to Newsela from Canvas.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I can, if you give me a second, I can pull that up on my other screen and then show people with. That's the best I can. But it's going to take me a few minutes is the only thing. Like maybe if I had to guess 3.
So while Mr. Howes is doing that, Newsela, you guys know you used a lot last year. I don't want that to be our only reading. I see your hand, guys, just a second. Common Lit has more fiction things to it, and so I'm also looking into that. And I am still exploring ways where we could have book clubs. Getting you guys access to ebooks so that you can have the text in front of you is proving to be a little bit problematic. So I'm trying to work on that and see what we can come up with, okay? So we're gonna put a pause on that. The social studies, how many of you have the social studies packet, at least so that you can look at it or that you've downloaded? Just really physically raise your hand, like, yes, I have it, or no, I do not, and really make it clear to me. Yeah? Okay, let me look at the other page. Okay. The social studies packet is, I think is better, quite frankly. Okay, I like this. This is not the only thing we're gonna do for social studies. I'm going to have you guys do PowerPoints and movies over topics from some of our time periods coming up, like World War II and things like that, okay? So more on that later. But this social studies packet is a little bit meatier, I think. And so all I wanna do with this is I wanna make sure that, because we're gonna go over it on Monday, okay? What your assignment is, but this is all laid out. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, it's all laid out for you. If you look at this page right here, this packet is actually supposed to be 3 weeks long. They're assuming you're only working on social studies twice a week. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll get back to that. But week 1, on day 1 and 2, you'd read the excerpts from the Declaration of Independence and a timeline of DC voters' rights history to respond to the discussion questions. And you'd analyze images and complete a See, Think, Wonder chart. I think we can do that. Week 2, it has 2 days worth of assignments. And week 3, it has 2 days worth of assignments. So we're gonna give this a try next week. You do not need to do anything with this social studies packet right now. It is Friday, it is the weekend. We'll go over this in more detail on Monday. What I would like you to do is see if you can download this or at least have access. If you can't actually have access, you can still do the work. You can write the questions down on a sheet of paper, okay? Mr. Howes, are you ready to share anything yet or not?
Yeah. I have it now.
All right.
I have Tom's login here. That's what I used.
So we're looking for Newsela and Common Lit. There's Common Lit.
There's Newsela. So I'm going to click on Newsela first. I click on that, and it should be a single sign-in. I don't know what this is. Can I draw here? What is that?
I don't know.
What the heck is that? I'm sorry. Okay, so it looks to me like it logs you straight in. So there's no need to worry about that. They can log straight in.
Whose work is it? Whose page is this?
Tom B.
Okay, I am concerned about your class, Mr. House, because I think Common Lit, my class is on it, but not yours.
Okay. Okay, both a single sign in for your class. If you're drawing, can you, the annotating?
Please stop.
Okay, so Ms. Wright, I'm gonna have to stop sharing and just grab a login for somebody in my class and just make sure I'll just make sure that it works. We don't need to show anybody, but they've seen right now, if they go to literacy and humanities, Common Lit and Newsela are both there. I'm gonna just check for my class that they can sign in.
Okay, can you put the screen back?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you guys to get a sheet of paper. This is what I want you to do over the weekend. You ready? Number 1, I want you to make sure you have access to the social studies packet. The first page should look like, what did it take for women to be considered equal to men? Okay, that is 3 weeks. So make sure you have access to that. Printing is awesome, but if you can't print, don't worry. Second thing I want you to do is to go on to Clever. And I want you to see if you can log on to Newsela and Common Lit. Okay? Lastly, wait, do we have questions about that before I want to talk about the read aloud just really quickly? Okay, Tate, questions?
It was about the thing, but it was answered.
Okay, sorry it took me so long. Andrea.
Never mind.
Oh, sorry guys. Isaac.
So we are doing this science project then. Like, no, like the sun, the one of the sun.
Isaac, I'm having a little hard time understanding what you're saying. But it's super cool.
Are
Write it in the chat. What are you trying to say?
projects about like sun? Wait.
Isaac, type your question to me in chat. I can't understand. Okay?
Are we doing
Caitlin.
a project about the sun?
Mr. House, are you understanding what they're saying?
What?
I don't know what he said.
Okay.
I think it was something about the science project, which is due on Sunday, and other than that, you don't need to worry. The science that's in that packet, don't do it.
Okay.
Miss
I'm
Fry,
moving on.
Miss
Sorry,
Fry,
Isaac.
Miss Fry, I don't, I just logged in with Graydon's login. He could log in to News ELA, so that's no problem. With Common Lit, they click on the link and it will ask you to put in a new password or to confirm your password.
I think it's this. Oh, the password?
It's
A
the
code or a password?
password.
Oh. I was worried that your class would have trouble, and so this is what they're supposed to do with it.
Well, I'm saying that, so yeah, they still need to have those instructions.
Mr. House's class, I'll get that information to you. What I'm going to do is post this on Teams, what you need to do to get on to Common Lit, okay? Back to questions. Isaac, hey, Tate and Isaac, can you put your hands down? Or maybe I can. Yeah. Okay, Caitlin. Whoops, I don't know where you went. Sorry, I don't know what happened. There's Caitlin. Caitlin, what's your question?
Are we gonna be on Zoom during the week?
For our morning meeting, and maybe, and that's pretty much the only reason why we're on Zoom for this session and for our morning meeting. Maybe some other times that we offer for people to. Right now, I'm getting muddled up in. Right now, Caitlin, you only need to worry about morning meeting and this time. The rest of the week, right now, there's nothing planned, but we're thinking about ways we might do that, Miss Fry.
Yep.
I'm just going to share with people one other thing, which is if you don't know where the Google, where the DCPS stuff is, right here, I go to, on Google, I just Googled DC Public Schools distance learning. When I did that, it comes up with this top link. I click on that there, and if you're annotating, please stop. I don't need you to annotate. I don't know why that's happening, other than, yeah. So I open that up, and it's gonna have a bunch of stuff about all of the excitement around this. I'm gonna click on coronavirus updates because, and down here, I'm gonna click on distance learning. So I've just gone on their website, I found the stuff, and there's a link here. I'm hovering over it. I click on that. It takes me to this page, which I send out in the weekly email to your parents, but I will send out again. But if you, for some reason, don't have that link, I'm showing you that you can get to it through the DCPS website. I go learners, click on that, and I go down here and I click on 5th grade. And now I have all of the materials that we're discussing right here, ELA, social studies, etc. Though you don't need to worry about the science, but that's where I would find those math. So I'm going to click on learning resources for ELA, and it's going to show me all of the ELA week 1, week 2 resources. Miss Fry, I just want to show that everybody can get there even just by Googling.
All right, so last thing I want to do is I want to see if you guys have any questions or any thoughts, anything you want to say about the read alouds that I've been posting with The War I Finally Won. Last night, pretty late, like 8:30, I posted the last installment. We are, I think, ready to read chapters 21. Any surprising stuff, any questions, any comments, any thoughts? any trouble accessing the Tenacious Toads YouTube channel and finding the read alouds? Okay. Are these new hands up? Andrea?
What do we need to have access to? Because I don't know. Because I didn't have a sheet of paper on hand.
You mean 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Canvas, which you'll
Okay.
Canvas access to, Common Lit, and
Mhm.
Nutella. But if you're in Mr. House's class, sorry, you're gonna have a hard time getting onto Common Lit. So I'll send you how to get onto Common Lit if you're in Mr. House's class on
Okay.
when this meeting is over. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Taya.
I was kind of surprised that like I knew that Ada's mom didn't really let her go anywhere, but I was kind of surprised that she didn't really do anything religious, I guess. I don't know. I just kind of thought, I just thought that maybe her mom would have done something, and she's kind of really straightforward with her questions, and it's kind of like,
Yeah, she's really ignorant with.
hold on,
Yeah, she didn't even know she was Christian or that the church she was going to was Christian church.
yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't think before. I mean, she does sometimes, but
Sure. She is very ignorant, which is not her fault.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Taya. Charlotte.
So the war that I finally won is on the Tenacious Toads on YouTube, because I don't understand, because Mr. Clasby posted on YouTube, and then we're supposed to go to your email to get to that story, or
No, I've made videos of myself reading aloud, and I've posted all of them on the Tenacious Toads YouTube channel.
so you can find that on Horace Mann email or on random YouTube.
If you go to YouTube, well, Mr. House, you can speak to this more than I can. I'll unmute you, but you can go to YouTube and type in Tenacious Toads, and our channel should come in. But there was also a link that was sent to your parents.
Yep, there was a link sent to everybody's parents. It went out in the weekly email. It's we'll keep it spinning. I think every email that we've sent out, I'll send it again. Mr. Clasby follows our channel, so Miss Rose, who's I think running the Horace Mann channel, should be linking our channel. But if not, it has been sent several times. I'm now gonna put it in the chat as well. So yeah, Miss Ryan.
You see it all there, Charlotte. Okay. Tate.
So we do we have this on the weekends? Like, do we have morning meeting on the weekends or
no? No.
Sleep in.
Okay, thanks, Tate. Who is that? Audrey?
So I have something to say and I guess a question. So when I went on to the website to look at the Tenacious Toads video, I saw does it go okay? So does it go this? Hold on. So I did it from the from my perspective, the right to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Is it supposed to go to the left to the right?
You mean
Mr. House, you share your screen with the Tenacious Toads YouTube channel?
let me make sure I have it. I did just share it in the chat bar. It's also right here, share. And is it showing up for people or no? Right? And these are all the things that are right there. There's all the videos. So what was the question, Audrey?
Left to right, right to left. I think as new videos are loaded,
They go here. So this is 2 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago. But everything is in here. So like if I realized I totally bombed the thing about rounding, I can look up and there's Miss Nolik's video on rounding. So like it's not like I have to do everything in order, but yeah, it goes from the left being the most recent to the right being the least recent, though.
what if you went on videos, Mr. House, to the right of home?
Yeah, and my computer was not as slow as it is. There we go. Yeah, it's left to the right, and then left, right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Allie, do you have your hand raised? No, sorry. Will. Oh, wait. Okay, Will. William.
So I think that this should be over because it's already 1:10.
Yeah, we agree, Will, but we're just trying to be respectful of helping people out. If you need to go, you don't need to stay.
Yeah.
You need to go ahead and leave. The last thing I'm going to say is...
Okay, Nina.
Hold on. I just wanted to know what was Mr. Clasby's account?
Mr. PE.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you go to the Tenacious Token, which I just put in the chat, it is his channel is linked to our channel.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Welcome, Nina. Okay. Will you please give a thumbs up if you are accessing all the videos on YouTube? Please, hold it up there. The question is, give a thumbs up. Nice, Usman. An actual thumbs up that you're accessing the videos. Okay. Excellent. Everybody good? Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to do some more work over the weekend on what's going to happen. It's just a little trickier with ELA because it's hard to have you guys access books. I don't want to make you order books. That seems like a lot. It might come to that. But it's harder to it's harder to do it. That's why we're probably going to be using a lot of Newsela and Common Lit. Okay, and I'll continue with read alouds. But we'll see. I got to play with a whole bunch of stuff over the weekend. And we'll see how that all shakes out. Okay?
And math, obviously there was a lot of stuff this week and took us a long time to go over. Thanks for being patient with that. Next week, we're going to do it slightly different. We're going to do some, but we'll explain everything about that on Monday because I don't need you to worry about that right now. Just make sure that you're handing in your essays and we're good. That's all we need to worry about with that.
Okay. Nina, do you still have another question? Your hand's still raised. Or are you good? You're good? Okay. And Brennan? Leftover?
Yeah, so I noticed that there's 44 of us and there's only 35 subscribers on the Tenacious Toads.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
they should subscribe.
That's totally true. And maybe, but also sometimes, Brennan, some people's parents may not want them to have an account, in which case they might be just watching the videos but not subscribed. So that's fine. Yeah. Okay, well, that's enough of that. All right, Ms. Fry.
All right, guys, hey.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, and we miss you. This is fine, but it's not what we want. We wish you guys were with us.
Every day, have a great weekend. Every day, have a great weekend.
Bye. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.